Memory loss doesn't suddenly appear one day. It quietly begins developing years, even decades, before you ever notice the first signs. The truth is, your brain functions very much like a muscle. If it isn't consistently nourished, challenged, and supported with the right nutrients, it gradually weakens over time. Most people automatically associate memory problems with vitamin B12 deficiency or simply getting older, but that's only part of the picture. In reality, cognitive decline is often influenced by a combination of factors: poor nutrition, chronic inflammation, lack of mental stimulation, disrupted sleep, and even long-term stress. What makes this even more concerning is that these changes happen silently. Long before you start forgetting names or misplacing things, your brain may already be struggling at a cellular level. That's why taking care of your brain isn't something you start later in life. It's something that needs attention much earlier through daily habits, diet, and lifestyle choices that protect and strengthen cognitive function over time. As a matter of fact, there are other reasons seniors suffer from memory loss that almost nobody is talking about, which is why later in this video I will be telling you two of those reasons. These are habits you engage in every single day that are causing brain fog and memory loss without you even realizing it. And if you do not stop them right away, they can trigger early onset dementia and amnesia. But that is not all. I will also be telling you the top 3 vitamins to take at bedtime that strongly activate multiple networks of the brain at the same time. And I will begin with the vitamin that is easiest to find and work my way up to the most powerful and effective one last. So make sure you watch all the way to the end, because the last one is the one that makes the biggest difference. Now, where are you watching from today? And are you having trouble with your memory? Let me know the symptoms you have noticed in the comments below, and I will reply personally with a quick solution tailored specifically to you. Let us begin. Vitamin number 1, magnesium. The first vitamin we are starting with today is magnesium. And if you are a senior who wakes up in the middle of the night, who struggles to fall asleep or feels mentally foggy and exhausted even after a full night of rest, there's a very strong chance that you are magnesium deficient. Here is something most people do not know. Sleep is not just about rest. Your brain needs sleep. It is the single most important period of brain maintenance that exists. While you sleep, your brain flushes out toxic waste products, including the harmful proteins directly linked to Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Without deep quality sleep, those toxic proteins accumulate in the brain over time, slowly but consistently, destroying memory, clarity, and cognitive function. Seniors lose sleep so easily as the body ages because the natural production of melatonin declines sharply. The nervous system also becomes more reactive, so older adults spend more time in light sleep stages and far less time in the deep restorative sleep stages where memory consolidation actually happens. This is exactly where magnesium becomes so powerful. Seniors who are deficient in magnesium experience chronic shallow sleep, frequent night waking, morning fatigue, brain fog, anxiety, and accelerating memory decline, all because one mineral is missing. A study published in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences found that magnesium supplementation in elderly adults significantly improved sleep duration, sleep efficiency, and early morning awakening, while simultaneously reducing cortisol levels and improving memory performance over a 12-week period. Here are 4 delicious and magnesium-rich recipes to add to your diet immediately. 1. Try a dark chocolate and almond overnight oats. To prepare this, combine half a cup of rolled oats with 1 cup of oat milk, a tablespoon of dark cocoa powder, a handful of crushed almonds, and a drizzle of honey. Refrigerate overnight and wake up to a creamy, indulgent breakfast that delivers a powerful magnesium hit before your day even begins. Or try the second option, a spinach and avocado omelet. To prepare this, whisk 3 eggs and pour into a lightly oiled pan. Fill generously with fresh spinach, sliced avocado, and a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds. This rich, satisfying breakfast combines 3 of the highest magnesium foods available into one deeply nourishing morning meal. Optionally, make a black bean and sweet potato stew. Start by simmering black beans with diced sweet potato, tomatoes, garlic, cumin, and smoked paprika in vegetable broth until thick and hearty. Serve with a warm slice of whole grain bread. This deeply comforting dinner is extraordinarily rich in magnesium, fiber, and slow-releasing carbohydrates that promote stable blood sugar and deeper sleep through the night. And lastly, a banana and pumpkin seed smoothie. Start by blending 2 ripe bananas with a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds, a cup of almond milk, a teaspoon of raw cacao powder, and a handful of spinach. This smoothie is sweet, creamy, and completely disguises its extraordinarily high magnesium content behind a flavor that feels more like dessert than medicine. Now, magnesium is absolutely essential, but as powerful as magnesium is, it is not enough on its own. And here is why. Magnesium works primarily by improving the quality of your sleep and calming your nervous system, but it does not directly help brain health. So if you are serious about protecting your memory, rebuilding your cognitive function, and keeping your mind sharp well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond, you absolutely cannot afford to miss the next vitamin. Vitamin number 2, zinc. The second vitamin you need to be taking at bedtime for sharper memory and stronger brain health is zinc. Zinc repairs, rebuilds them, and rewires the brain. Here's what most people do not know about zinc. Your brain contains the highest concentration of zinc of any organ in your entire body. It is stored in a specific region of the brain called the hippocampus, which is the exact region responsible for forming new memories, storing old ones, and retrieving information when you need it. Zinc is not just present in the hippocampus by coincidence. It is there because it plays an absolutely critical role in brain health. It also directly regulates your mood. Zinc is essential for the production of serotonin, the brain's primary feel-good neurotransmitter. When zinc levels are low, serotonin production drops, and seniors begin to experience persistent sadness, emotional flatness, irritability, and depression. This is critically important because depression and chronic sadness are not just emotional problems in seniors. They are neurological ones. A landmark study published in the journal Nutritional Neuroscience found that seniors with low zinc levels performed significantly worse on memory tests, experienced higher rates of depression, and showed measurable reductions in hippocampal volume compared to seniors with adequate zinc levels, confirming that zinc deficiency is a direct and serious driver of cognitive decline in older adults. Here are 4 deeply satisfying and zinc-rich recipes to add to your evening meals. 1. Garlic butter shrimp with brown rice. Sauté generous portions of shrimp in garlic, butter, lemon juice, and fresh parsley. Then serve over fluffy brown rice. Shrimp is extraordinarily rich in zinc, and this meal feels indulgent and restaurant quality while delivering powerful brain protective nutrients in every single bite. 2. Pumpkin seed and spinach pesto pasta. Blend toasted pumpkin seeds with fresh basil, spinach, garlic, olive oil, and parmesan into a thick, vibrant pesto. Toss generously with whole grain pasta for a deeply flavorful dinner that is one of the richest zinc meals you can prepare in under 20 minutes. 3. Beef and chickpea curry. Simmer lean beef chunks with chickpeas, tomatoes, onions, turmeric, ginger, and garam masala in a rich coconut milk base until deeply aromatic and tender. Both beef and chickpeas are excellent zinc sources, and together they create a hearty, warming dinner that supports brain repair and mood regulation through the night. Number 4, dark chocolate and cashew energy balls. Blend cashews, rolled oats, dark cocoa powder, honey, and a pinch of sea salt in a food processor. Roll into small balls and refrigerate for 30 minutes. These taste exactly like dessert, and yet every single ingredient is working hard to flood your brain with zinc, magnesium, and antioxidants while you sleep. Now, zinc is extraordinary, but here is what zinc cannot do. It cannot directly attack the one invisible force that is quietly and consistently destroying your brain health every single day. And that force is cortisol. Cortisol is your body's primary stress hormone, and in small doses it is perfectly healthy and necessary. But in seniors, cortisol levels are frequently high, and chronically high cortisol is one of the top causes of brain fog and memory loss. Magnesium calms your nervous system. Zinc rebuilds your brain cells, but neither of them can lower cortisol. And this is exactly why you must include the next vitamin. Vitamin number 3, ashwagandha. The third and most powerful nutrient on today's list is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha contains a powerful bioactive compound that directly regulates the body's cortisol production system. As cortisol drops, it also actively stimulates the production of serotonin and dopamine, the brain's two most important mood-regulating chemicals. Low serotonin causes persistent sadness, anxiety, and emotional fragility. Low dopamine causes loss of motivation, mental fatigue, and an inability to concentrate. By restoring both of these critical hormones, ashwagandha stabilizes mood, reduces anxiety, and sharpens focus, and creates the environment the brain needs to form and retain strong memories. A study published in the Journal of Dietary Supplements found that seniors who took ashwagandha extract daily for 8 weeks showed significant improvements in memory, attention, information processing speed, and overall cognitive function compared to those who took a placebo. Here are 4 creative and delicious ways to add ashwagandha to your daily routine. 1. Ashwagandha golden milk. Warm 1 cup of oat milk with a teaspoon of ashwagandha powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of cinnamon, a pinch of black pepper, and a drizzle of honey. Stir until smooth and drink slowly 30 minutes before bed. This deeply warming golden drink is one of the most powerful bedtime brain tonics a senior can consume, and it tastes like a warm hug in a cup. 2. Ashwagandha and banana smoothie. Blend 1 ripe banana with 1 cup of almond milk, 1 teaspoon of ashwagandha powder, a tablespoon of almond butter, a teaspoon of raw cacao powder, and a drizzle of maple syrup. This smoothie is creamy, naturally sweet, and completely disguises the earthy flavor of ashwagandha behind a taste that feels more like a chocolate milkshake than a health remedy. 3. Ashwagandha oatmeal with berries and honey. Cook half a cup of rolled oats in oat milk until thick and creamy. Stir in 1 teaspoon of ashwagandha powder and top generously with fresh blueberries, sliced strawberries, crushed walnuts, and a generous drizzle of raw honey. This breakfast bowl is visually stunning, deeply satisfying, and delivers ashwagandha antioxidants and omega-3 fatty acids all in one beautiful morning meal. 4. Ashwagandha and dark chocolate energy balls. Blend rolled oats, almond butter, dark cocoa powder, ashwagandha powder, honey, and crushed cashews in a food processor until the mixture comes together. Roll into small balls and refrigerate for 30 minutes. These taste indulgent, rich, and deeply chocolatey. And yet, every single bite is quietly reducing your cortisol, rebuilding your brain cells, and protecting your memory while you enjoy every mouthful. If you begin incorporating all 3 of these into your nightly routine consistently, you will start to notice a difference in your mental clarity, your emotional stability, and your memory within weeks. But here's where we need to have a very honest and very important conversation with you, because it does not matter how much magnesium you take. It does not matter how many zinc-rich meals you prepare or how many cups of ashwagandha golden milk you drink before bed. If you are still doing the 2 things we are about to reveal, you are working directly against every single nutrient we have just discussed. These are not rare or unusual habits. These are things that millions of seniors do every single day without ever realizing the devastating and irreversible damage they are causing to their brain, their memory, and their long-term cognitive health. Habit number 1, consuming too much sugar. The first habit that is silently destroying your memory is consuming too much sugar. And before you say that, you do not eat much sugar. We need you to listen very carefully because sugar hides in places most seniors would never suspect. It hides in fruit juices, in white bread, in flavored yogurts, in breakfast cereals marketed as healthy, in salad dressings, in tin soups, and in the tea or coffee that millions of seniors drink multiple times every single day. You do not need to be eating candy or cake to be consuming dangerous levels of sugar. It is already in your diet and it is already doing damage. Here is exactly what sugar does to your brain. When you consume high amounts of sugar, your blood glucose levels spike rapidly, triggering a surge of insulin to bring those levels back down. Over time, with repeated spikes, your brain cells begin to develop something called insulin resistance. They stop responding to insulin properly, and as a result, they are unable to absorb glucose efficiently for energy. And this is catastrophic for brain function because glucose is the brain's primary fuel source. A brain that cannot absorb glucose properly is a brain that is running on empty. Neurons fire slowly. Communication between brain cells weakens. Memory recall becomes sluggish and unreliable. And the brain begins to age far faster than it should. But the damage goes even deeper than that. Excess sugar triggers chronic inflammation throughout the entire body, and the brain is particularly vulnerable to inflammatory damage, neuroinflammation. Inflammation inside the brain directly destroys neurons, disrupts the formation of new memories, and creates the exact biological conditions in which Alzheimer's disease develops and progresses. In fact, some leading neurologists have begun referring to Alzheimer's disease as type 3 diabetes because the link between chronic high sugar consumption, insulin resistance in the brain, and the development of dementia is now so well established in scientific literature that it can no longer be ignored. High sugar consumption also suppresses the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, the same protein that ashwagandha works so hard to stimulate. BDNF is responsible for growing new brain cells and maintaining the health of existing ones, and sugar shuts it down, leaving the brain unable to repair or regenerate itself effectively. Replace refined sugar with natural sweeteners like raw honey and pure maple syrup, which release glucose more slowly and contain antioxidants that actually support brain health. Replace sugary fruit juices with whole fruits, which contain fiber that slows sugar absorption. Replace white bread and processed cereals with whole grain alternatives that keep blood sugar stable throughout the day. And replace sugary tea and coffee with green tea, which contains L-theanine, a compound that promotes calm, focused brain activity and supports memory naturally. Habit number 2 is living a sedentary lifestyle, and it is one of the most overlooked yet damaging patterns when it comes to brain health. This habit is quietly but steadily impairing memory and cognitive function in millions of older adults across the globe. Spending most of the day seated, whether it's in front of the television, at the dining table, or resting in a comfortable chair, while engaging in little to no physical movement, creates the perfect environment for mental decline to accelerate over time. Now, it's important to acknowledge a reality many seniors face. Reduced mobility is not a choice for everyone. It's often a genuine and frustrating challenge. Issues like knee pain, joint stiffness, low energy levels, and concerns about balance or falling can make even simple movement feel overwhelming. For many, the idea of exercise brings discomfort or even fear, which leads to avoiding it altogether. But here's what modern science is making increasingly clear. The brain and body are deeply interconnected, far more than we once believed. When the body stops moving, blood circulation begins to slow down, and that includes the flow of oxygen and essential nutrients to the brain. Over time, this reduced circulation can impair the brain's ability to function efficiently, affecting memory, focus, and even mood. In addition to that, a lack of movement can reduce the production of key brain-supporting chemicals, such as those responsible for forming new neural connections. This means the brain becomes less adaptable, less resilient, and more vulnerable to age-related decline. Even light physical activity, simple walking, gentle stretching, or basic strength movements can stimulate these protective mechanisms. So while it may feel difficult and even discouraging at times, staying physically active is not just about maintaining muscle or mobility. It is one of the most powerful ways to preserve memory, protect cognitive function, and maintain independence as we age. To grab your copy today, simply check the pinned comment at the very top of the comment section below, or scroll down to the video description and you will find the link waiting for you there. Do not put it off because your brain health is too important to delay. And before you go, make sure you stay connected to this channel, because in our next video, we are going to be revealing the top 5 foods that are silently shrinking your brain and stealing your memory. And number 3 is something almost every senior eats every single morning without any idea of the damage it is causing. If you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now. We will see you in the next